Welcome to episode 26 of the Toffee TV podcast. It is Ped and Baz once again. Been let down by guests.
Yeah.
Again.
We have.
We did have the lads in earlier from the American Toffee pod who were here. But I feel like getting them on to do another podcast would have been stereotyping. No, it would, wouldn't it? You know what I mean? Like, do you want to do another podcast, lads? You've done one for everything you've been over here on. So we've done a video with them. And that's great. And that'll be out soon. Nice lads.
And it will be out as a podcast, just to clarify.
Well, only if you're on Patreon. Only if you're on Patreon. I mean, you pay money to take your choice.
Exactly.
On Patreon.
Exactly.
But I didn't feel like it was right getting them to do another podcast, you know, because again, as I said,
I thought about bringing one of the youth team lads in, i.e. Billy or Matty. I mean, Billy's doing the same, and what Matty's just come out with the income on this.
Matty can't.
I don't think the listeners are ready.
I've done radio for a few years, and you always say on radio, like, don't swear.
Yeah.
Obviously, when you're on air, but you always say don't swear even when you walk into the building. Don't get into the habit of swearing. And I feel like with what Matty's just come out with off the side there, the things he was talking about, I can't even get into them. I can't even breach the subject of what he was talking about, even in the lightest possible way, because they were so dark. I think Stephen King would have a problem with the things he's just said.
Yeah, I do, to be honest.
I feel like the next time he goes and washes his hands, he's going to have to sing "Happy Birthday" 4 times just to try and get rid of the shame.
I've got some holy water now, some Lords that's been brought back, so I think I'll bring that in for next week.
I mean,
and douse them in it.
You might as well have just said the tears of a unicorn with what you've just said there.
Well, exactly.
I mean,
well, that's the way.
You know what I mean?
Well, not really.
I'm going to use Batman's blood. I mean, it's the same thing, isn't it?
No, it's
the same thing.
No, because it's an actual thing, isn't it? Holy water from Lords is an actual thing.
It's
an actual thing.
Cricket ground?
No, not the cricket ground. It's an actual thing.
Okay,
whether you agree.
All right. Fair enough. So where does the holy water come from?
From Lords in France.
I mean, yeah, that's great. Is it blessed or does it come out of a...
It's blessed. It hasn't. Someone hasn't.
Is it not? Is it Evian?
It hasn't come out of a tap.
Is it Evian?
It's not Evian. I don't think it is.
Is this just like a way of selling the Evian?
Listen, I don't know.
Okay.
It comes out from where...
I feel like you do know. You just don't want to get into it.
No, I don't. Our Lady appeared to St. Bernadette.
Who's Our Lady?
Jesus' mum.
Oh, sorry, it was a dad he didn't have. Sorry.
Well, I mean, he quite clearly had a dad.
But who's his dad?
Well, his dad's God, isn't it?
Was it though? Was it though?
I mean, I suppose.
Was it though?
Well, you know.
I mean, I can listen. I can believe some things.
Well, there you go. There you go.
I mean, I can't believe you don't believe in Jurassic Park, but you believe in that.
I don't believe in Jurassic Park.
You know what I mean?
I mean,
you don't believe in dinosaurs.
You do realise that is literally just a film.
I mean, I've literally been on the ride.
So
I've been on the ride, and there's a new ride when I go back to California.
Yeah, I know.
And so you believe in the tears of Jesus' mum.
It's not. The holy water isn't the tears of his mum.
I thought she cried a lot.
Well, she didn't put it in those little plastic bottles. We'll keep this for when gingers like Matty are inappropriate and people will need to douse him in it.
They killed his son in the most barbaric way.
Well, see, they cried then, obviously.
So didn't they collect the tears?
Not enough for the bottles of water that they sell from it. No.
I'd have thought you would have cried quite a lot.
I don't know.
Where were the marketing men?
I don't know whether plastic was invented then. I don't know. I can't be sure.
I don't think it was.
No,
but they have this thing called glass.
Yeah, well, maybe they collected all the tears in the glass, but that isn't where it's... I mean, the mic's even just... that isn't a sign. I don't know what is.
I mean, no, the fact that the microphone fell on you and the mic didn't fall on me...
Well, it wanted a hug off me because it couldn't believe what you were coming out with.
I'm not coming out with anything. Yeah. I'm just asking investigational questions.
I mean, I feel as though you should have been investigating Matty after what he said. But anyway,
I'm trying to distract my mind from what Matty said.
Okay, let's move on.
Can't quite keep up.
Let's move
with what Matty said.
Let's move on.
I think we should move on.
It's a football. Yeah.
This is the essence of the podcast.
The essence of the podcast can take this.
Have you washed your hands, by the way?
Of course, I've washed.
It's very important. People wash their hands. It's
massively important. People wash their hands. If you sneeze, do the vampire sneeze.
What's a vampire sneeze?
Haven't I taught you this last week?
Is that when loads of blood comes out your nose? I used to have them when I was a kid quite a lot.
You sneeze into, like the cape. like vampires, like Dracula. That's how you're supposed to sneeze.
What a heavy start. Jesus' mum and vampires, and you don't believe in Jurassic Park.
That's how you're supposed to sneeze. Yeah?
Yeah.
You're not supposed to just sneeze everywhere.
No, I mean,
then
Robert Elston told us that on the poster, didn't he? He did teach us on the poster. Yeah. Don't go. Bleh.
Yeah, exactly.
You're supposed to catch it,
bin it.
Well,
catch it, yeah, and kill it. That's what it does. Catch it, bin it, kill it, because it kills it.
But now you're supposed to wash your hands and sing Happy Birthday twice.
But you've always supposed to have done that, even when you go normally and do what you do in the toilet.
But that's not. No, you're supposed to. No, the guidelines is for the coronavirus is, and I feel like this is the way it should be getting across to people. Not like if they'd sold Brexit on, you're gonna have to wait dead long in a queue, and you're not going to get your phone stuff when you're abroad. So every time you're on Twitter abroad or on Instagram, it's going to cost you a fortune. That's how they sold Brexit. So I feel like this is the way they should be selling this. When you come in the house, anytime you come into a new building, you're supposed to wash your hands, foamy soap, and sing Happy Birthday twice. And that's how you do it. So it's not the toilet, it's every time you go into a building.
No, but I'm saying that should have been what people were doing anyway when they go to the toilet, because that's what you're taught, how to stop germs spreading.
Hand sanitizer?
Yeah.
There you go. And if I haven't got hand sanitizer, just like pour some gin on your hands.
Get that.
But don't go for a drive afterwards.
Get Dettol spray, because it kills the coronavirus. It literally says on the back of it, kills human coronavirus. And that's been on for a while.
What if it's not human coronavirus? What if it's not human coronavirus?
Well, it is. Well, to be honest, it will anyway. Yeah, that's a different. We'll keep that for the when we're bringing back the conspiracy program in the summer. So there you go.
Human made. There you go. Football was played this week. It was played this week.
I mean, you've literally seen someone who was taking precautions in the match, didn't you?
I did. I seen someone at Goodison Park wearing a gas mask. I mean, it was clearly to get on Match of the Day too. And I just thought to myself, as if they're going to make light of something which, economically could rip the country in half, and people will die, and you think you're going to get Match of the Day too, while Chappers has a laugh at you. I'm all for a laugh, but
fair play.
But it was a Sunday game, 2 o'clock kickoff. People have been out on the Saturday night. There is a tendency to have the odd smell drifting through.
So maybe that's
all it was. Maybe that's what it was. So we've all been there. We've all had those the day after smells.
Have you?
Well, we all have. We're human beings. It happens.
So yeah, Man United
at home. Disappointing in the end, wasn't it? Disappointing that we didn't get the 3 points. Obviously not really anything we could do about it. Scored after a couple of minutes. I must admit I didn't actually see the goal. I wasn't concentrating on the game. I wasn't concentrating. I was looking down
at your phone.
At my phone, probably. No, I was just looking down. I was not, because when the goalie's got the ball and you're just thinking, it's just going to come upfield. I didn't see it in real time. I just looked up to see the ball at the back of the net, and 1-0 up, and then we can see the silly goal, not only from a defensive point of view, but from the goalkeeper's point of view. They obviously had a lot of the play first half, tired second half, especially when Bruno Fernandes tired himself, and then obviously we had the late drama, a great save, double save at one end by Jordan Pickford, and then a goal disallowed at the other end for. I mean, I'm still not quite sure why it was disallowed, if I'm honest.
Well, no, the reason they give doesn't actually add up. Interpretation and all that nonsense, which is always an issue. Problem for me is with the whole VAR thing was that he gave the goal, the linesman gave the goal, and then a fella who's 200 miles away says that it isn't a goal. The issue I've got is the referee is refereeing the game in the stadium. So why didn't he just go over to his screen and say to John Moss, right, what are you saying? Like, let me look and have a look. And if he can see De Gea, who moves in line with the shot, so quite clearly can see the ball, then that should have been, he should have been saying, listen, John, De Gea's body motioned his body towards the ball. Sigurdsson hasn't touched it, therefore it's a goal, or it's a penalty before that.
Yeah, I think this is one of the big problems with VAR is they pick and choose how they're going to look at the situation. So we had an incident early on the season when we should have had a penalty against Spurs, and he looked at the incident for a handball. Was it 27 times?
27 times.
To see how he could not give the penalty, every other way of not giving the penalty, and yet this one on Sunday, they've clearly looked at it once. I personally think the linesman would have give offside, because I looked at him straight away, and he sort of was making noises that he thought he was in an offside position and was encouraging the idea of looking at it. But I think that should have gone for us, because I think really what should have happened was that what they've done is they've looked at Sigurdsson and literally just gone, you're in an offside position, which he was, but they haven't actually took the time to see if he was blocking the goalkeeper. They've just looked to see if he was in an offside position, and but that's not the rule. The rule is, are you blocking the goalkeeper? And he clearly wasn't, like you've just said. He clearly wasn't blocking his view when Dom had the shot, because he went the right way. And when it took the deflection off Maguire, it wouldn't have mattered if Sigurdsson was there or not. No. The goalkeeper wouldn't have got back to it.
Couldn't get to it. Yeah.
He could clearly see where the ball was going. So it's a nonsense, and that's what I'm saying. They pick and choose. They take 3-4 minutes to look at an incident. But for this incident, they just basically decided straight away. And then the PGMOL put that picture out behind the goal. And it was a nonsense, because that was just like, oh, you can see he's in front of him. He's like, no, you can't. You can see he's standing sitting in the area, but he's not blocking the view. And this picture is a complete nonsense. And then it gets escalated by people going on TV and going, well, he's offside. You can see him, he's offside. Look where he is. It's like, no. Again, you're not looking at this properly. You're not giving it the respect it deserves. If it been anyone else in the top 6, or it been in a cup final or something, blah blah blah, you would have poured over that incident for ages, and you would took every single angle. Do you know what we need? Have you seen that, the way they do it in like Spain, where they have that camera that like it moves from one side to the other? Like it's obviously a few different cameras, but the way they do it, it processes a shot and it goes round in this like smooth thing. I think that's one of the things they need for VAR, is so they can look at an angle and then you get like a 360 cam, so that you can spin that angle round and look at everyone's perspective, like in FIFA or Ped. Do you know what I mean? You can look at the different angles. They should have that in football, where you can catch all the different angles, because the technology's there. It's £1 billion industry, and we're relying on a fella in, like you just said, 200 miles away to make a decision where he's not pouring over the facts.
But why is his decision more valuable than the referees? Now, you might watch, someone might say, well, hang on, he's had a look at it 3, 4, 5, 6 times, where Chris Kavanagh seen it live, so he's only seen it once. So I get that. So go and look at the screen. Yeah. Go and look at the screen, have the conversation. Go and look at the screen and go, well, hang on, let's have a look at it. Like you said, have that camera that spins, because we seen this in the Champions League last year with Man City and Tottenham, where we seen the angle that clearly proved Llorente had used his hand, and yet VAR didn't have that angle, so they couldn't come up with the conclusion that it did his hand. How can the telly have stuff that VAR hasn't got? Someone said
the other day, a few weeks ago, about VAR, and I know we're talking about it again, but what he said was that the reason it took someone asked the question, why does it take so long? There's loads of us in the room or something. He said, well, there's not loads of us in the room. There's one fella watching this game. And he said, we have to wait for every angle to be played, one after the other. He said, but where is somewhere like Sky as a producer who can cut? So why aren't they working off the same thing? Why doesn't the ref have a bank of angles in front of him, and he can literally just touch it, and that one just goes on the big screen, and he can play around with the speed like you would. Like, if you're talking about something that is so important, surely if you had more elements to it, it would speed the process up as well. If you had a screen in front of you that linked to a big screen, and you could flick between the one, and you could turn a little dial to get you the right angle or the right speed on it, you'd get to the decision quicker. and it'd be more accurate. But what we have at the moment is this fella sitting there, and what he's probably done is he's probably looked at the first angle and gone, sitting on the floor in front of the goalkeeper, he's offside, and that was it. And because Maguire and because De Gea were in his face, which I don't have any problem with that, because I think our players should do things like that, because that's what happens. They get in the referee's face, and the referee feels like he has to speed the game up. Then he's under pressure straight away, and the Premier League have put these things on the refs to say that you've got to make these decisions quicker because we've got games on, and you think about it from like a production standpoint. Sky are like, game's kicking off in a minute, the League Cup final, all these things. People will probably go, oh, that's nonsense, but all these things affect.
No, I know, but I just think with that and with having VAR, they should have been able to look at the penalty as well. And I know I've seen Walton, Philip Walton or Peter Walton, whatever his name is, saying that it wasn't a penalty. It was Gallagher on it because he's already fallen. It is a penalty. If Sigurdsson's on the edge of the box and knocks that wide to Sidibe and Wan-Bissaka clatters him, it's a free kick, regardless of whether Sidibe gets the ball. It's a free kick. So Sigurdsson has a shot and is clattered, and he's in that place because he's being clattered.
How many times have we seen a fullback clear the ball down the line, and someone comes in late and takes him out, and because it's a foul, and it's a booking. Yeah. So there was no difference in this, just because Sigurdsson again, it's football. It's referees not understanding football, because. Sigurdsson should be scoring. I'm not defending him, but Sigurdsson's thinking, I'm going to get closed down here, so he's going to try and get the shot off early. He can't take a touch, but if Wan-Bissaka isn't coming in from the side, he should score. I know he should score. I'm not defending him, but Wan-Bissaka's coming from the side, so he's thinking, I've got no time here, I've just got to hit it. So because he just hits it, he doesn't put any kind of finesse on it. The keeper saves it. And then Wan-Bissaka takes him out. If you eliminate Wan-Bissaka from that situation, Sigurdsson's got all the time in the world to pick a spot. So how can you eliminate? So if Wan-Bissaka clatters him after it, how can you eliminate Wan-Bissaka from what's just happened? It's cause and effect.
And who's to say that I was talking to John Blaine about it before. Who's to say Sigurdsson wouldn't have got the rebound if he wouldn't have been clattered?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd have to go back and examine exactly where the ball went.
What if he doesn't
if he's on his feet, and De Gea saves it with his foot, it might come back.
What if he gets clattered and then takes 2 steps backwards, right? So he's onside, and then suddenly, where Dominic Calvert-Lewin's got 2 people trying to block the shot, they've only got 1, because one of them's trying to block off Sigurdsson, so that Dom hasn't got a 2-yard pass to Sigurdsson to smash it in again. Do you know what I mean? If Sigurdsson's on his feet, there's a reason why Sigurdsson's on his backside. And these are the things in football that referees don't seem to understand, how the game works and the complexities and how cause and effect. You know, it's like our goal. It's bad goalkeeping. It's bad goalkeeping by Jordan Pickford. But you have to start it from the beginning and ask the question why Sidibe's doing what he's doing, and ask why.
Well, if they give it to Sidibe and he shouldn't have done.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what I'm saying. It's not just because they've had the shot. That players had all the time in the world, because we've been caught out from taking our own kick short. So it's so many. Football isn't just split-second things happen. There are always reasons, and I think that's why referees just don't get it. I think we spoke about it on something, I think it was one of our live shows this week, saying when we played Man City away, they were checking an offside and a penalty at the same time. So what they were basically saying was, if he's not offside, it's a penalty. It might be a penalty. So surely,
he was offside.
So surely it should have been the same on the weekend. If they should have gone, well, actually, we're just checking to see whether it's a goal or not, but we'll also check if it was a pen, because if it's not a goal,
they said they did. I don't believe they did.
I don't believe they did.
And they've come out and panicked because someone said, well, hang on, there was a penalty then, and they've come out and covered their arse like
the worst thing is, again, is that there's no action.
There'll be no comeback for John Moss or Cavani, none at all. You know, when he sent Ancelotti off when he asked him for the next one, it's all nonsense, mate. And sadly for me, it just buys into the thing of scripted football. I'm afraid where they can affect it, they will, and that for me, because I don't understand. I don't understand how you can argue away the fact that Sigurdsson's where he is because he's been fouled. I remember Liverpool getting a penalty for intent on Gerrard years ago at Sheffield United because the lad tried to. He still got it's rode the challenge and had the shot and he brought it back and gave a pen. Seen other penalties given for nothing.
Seen goals given.
And goals given, and you're like
the goal for Chelsea against us at Goodison Park.
Yeah,
he was standing in front of Jordan Pickford.
He couldn't see it and moved out. It's just nonsense. It's absolute nonsense, and that's why. When you're arguing, we'd argue with Lee Dixon after a game going, well, hang on a second or so, this happened and there. No, it wouldn't have been given for anyone else. You're like, well, it would. And I'll give you the example. Yeah. Chelsea in December, and they were like, oh, well, that's because referees will see different things. Yeah. Hang on. You can't have a rule, but a referee sees a different thing.
But you know what? The referee on the pitch will see different things, and the guy on the pitch gave the goal, right? And it was the VAR who actually, and this is why we've called and said before, that the VAR people should be independent from the referees. Yeah. They shouldn't be able to. John Moss shouldn't now.
From Manchester.
John Moss. I know, but
and so's Chris Cabana.
But what I mean by that is that the guy who's in the VAR should be a VAR referee. He should be doing that day in, day out for games for the Premier League and the FA Cup, and if it's going to be back,
should be their job, mate.
That's what I'm saying.
And so in the week when there isn't games, they should be looking at footage and going through it, going, right, that's a thing. And that's how you build your experience. So that when you come in a game and you see something, you go, what's happened there? What I thought would happen, I said this to you on another video, what I thought would happen and why I was a big supporter of having VAR was because I thought it would take away those moments where referees may have missed it. So they'll look at it and go, and this is the perfect incident, right? Is that we see a goal. Now, Sigurdsson is in an offside position, but he didn't touch it, but he's in an offside position. But I thought VAR would go, well, hang on, line of sight, I can look at that. But also, what happened to put Sigurdsson where he was? That's a penalty. Now, a referee in a game is looking like that, so he might miss that. And I thought this is what would be picked up. But it isn't. It's almost like what they do is they look and go, oh crap, we've made a mistake there. How do we get out of this decision? And you mentioned it before, Tottenham in the 27th.
My big problem with it is, like you've just said, that guy is a referee. So he's looking and he's thinking like a referee would, like on the pitch. Like, oh, I've seen a fella on the floor, so it must be offside. Where if there's a video referee and that was his job, he'd understand the technology, because I think that's a big problem. I don't think they've got a clue. I think it's like me half that's trying to work Sky Plus.
Imagine thinking John Moss could work
exactly.
Fella looks like he wouldn't. He'd have.
I'd go.
The fella's still got a Nokia 3210.
He definitely plays Snake,
and that's it. Snake is the most.
He's got the highest score for Snake, though.
Well, he's the most advanced on Snake. He's Nokia, full Nokia brick, 3210 grey, little bit of a curve on it, make it look better.
The advantage is though that he doesn't have to charge it every night.
No, and he can't make a phone call anywhere.
Yeah,
and he'll get a signal anywhere.
But the point being is that we've got referees pretending to be technical experts. Where really we should have technical experts just being referees. We should be out there training guys who are independent. Like what I'm saying, the first thing they should have done when they looked for referees was they should have gone to Sky and gone, who's your best producer? I want him as a referee. The point being is you could teach people over a couple of years how to understand the rules of the game, but also know to work the technology, so they can basically in 20 seconds go, right, I'm grabbing this clip will show that camera, see that where the line of sight is there, this camera over there, camera 7 will show me the best. Camera 7, zoom in, it only takes me 20 seconds because of my next, it's like anything else.
But what's wrong with having, alright, even if they went, well, hang on, we want people who are trained in the laws of the, well, what's wrong with having a brilliant technician and the referee?
Well, we don't know if that. I don't even know if that happens. But that's what I'm saying. No, like for an incident like that, if you've got someone in the room, right, who understands and goes, like almost like it's like I don't know how to do this. Like that it'll be camera 7. I'll give you the best view. That camera 7, blah, blah, and then you can zoom in and go, and you could, because there's obviously pictures out there of De Gea looking right at Dom when he takes the strike, right?
So you
go, what camera's that? And you look at the icon, you could almost draw. You could get Andy Gray's pen.
Like people have done it on.
Exactly.
On the phone.
This is what makes you laugh.
On the phone.
This is what makes you laugh. You get Andy Gray's pen and you draw a line between De Gea's eyes and the ball, and you say, can he see it? Yes, he can. You get a camera from behind in the goal, and you go, what can he see from his vantage? It's the 21st century.
Mate, it's easy.
We've got cameras on giant strings at footy matches now, bouncing around these spider cams. And we're talking about the Premier League, we're talking about the most biggest league in the world. You know, we're getting ripped off left, right, and centre for it, which we keep paying, and yet they can't get decisions. That to me, I know loads of people have come out and gone, "Oh, clearly he's offside." He's not offside.
Yeah, people who say it are the ones that don't understand football. Don't understand.
Do you know what it is? More than that, they just don't want the argument.
No,
they just don't want the argument. Like I've said a million times, if Gylfi Sigurdsson is lying down, if he is lying down in the same place, he would still look like he was offside, but he wouldn't be offside. So what is the difference? What is the difference?
It's all nonsense, mate. And until they address that and accept it, what's wrong with offering Howard Webb, Mark Clattenburg, those kind of people? I mean, if you want. But what's wrong with offering them
a job,
a VAR?
Well, listen, we're living in a world where they're about to ask all kinds of doctors to come back to work that have retired because we're having a bit of an issue. So you're right. Why not just say to them, no?
Well, they have to stop refereeing at 50.
And why do they have to stop refereeing? Because they think their legs have gone. Nothing else.
No.
And like anything, you get to a stage in your career where you're probably absolutely amazing at it, but other factors catch up on you. So it might be in the world of, like, say, someone technology.
Yeah.
If you might get to, like, I don't know, you might get like 60 or something, and you've been doing all kinds of stuff for years and kinds of technology, you know everything about it. But the problem is your brain just can't keep up with stuff. But you get kept. But they might go, well, we'll keep it on as an advisor
because that knowledge.
Because that knowledge, and this is something we throw away knowledge too much in all over the world.
We've got it in charge of our team.
Yeah,
we've got a 60-year-old fella who's been through everything in football. He's experienced to the class and all that, and we throw stuff like that away for a 40-year-old. Because we go, oh, he's dead and hungry and he's this and he's that. Instead of going, what Ancelotti's done, he's the main man, and we'll get all young people around him to do the other stuff and let his brain work out stuff and the advice. Why can't we do that?
Why do people think Sir Alex Ferguson was as good as he was as a manager? Because he kept on refreshing it and bringing in young coaches every 2 or 3 years.
And then his knowledge was able to pick through it. Arsene Wenger it was just that. He took it to extreme with the money.
We've got all these referees at the moment that I don't know the name of half of them because they're all like just seem like they've just walked off these Zingari, and that's how good they are.
Yeah.
And we're not putting a fella upstairs. And I know people go, well, John Moss has been around for ages. Well, yeah, but he's still a referee, though.
He's a crap referee.
But whether he's a good referee or a bad referee, I think personally it's a conflict of interest.
But if we want to move away from that, which I know that we do, we don't want them referees. But there's still nothing wrong with having, say, Mark Clattenburg, Howard Webb, and I don't know,
Uriah Rennie,
whoever, right? Those three being like the leaders of VAR, and then under them, tech guys or I still think League 2 and League 1 players might want to do it as a career because they're not going to make money with you. Don't have to do anything ever again. Give them 120 grand a year like a referee. Bumps them in these things. We're talking about £1 billion industry.
Doesn't that happen in cricket? Weren't a lot of umpires ex-players in cricket?
Possibly, yeah.
Because they know the game inside and out.
The game inside out. The lads who were never been at the top level, the lads who were walking up and going, well, this is a career now for me. And
also,
for the next 20 years.
You don't have to.
And I'm not Chris Cavanagh's mate.
The other thing I think, I'd be very interested, I honestly don't know the answer to this, but in like Germany and places like that, are the people who are working the VAR, is it publicised beforehand who they are and whatever, or are they just like, well, it's just a VAR guy? Because if you were to say to a former player, right, we're going to train you up for a couple of years to become a VAR ref, you don't have to deal with any of the hassle of being on the pitch or being on that side or dealing with players. All you need to do is do this job. And this, like, a lot of ex-players do a lot of jobs around football through like the PFA. So I know we've got a guy who sits behind the goal for us, and he used to actually play for Everton years ago, but he went out of football quite early on. His job is he works for like Opta on behalf of the Premier League and stuff, where you know all the stats where. So he has like one of the phones where every time something happens, he has to press a certain button, and that's
in the press box.
Exactly, yeah. And you have those people at every game. Pro Zone and all that. They do it, and they're ex-players, and they do. And I know VAR's slightly more advanced than that, but if you've got guys who've just come out the game, like you just said, League Two. If you probably might be giving them better wages than they're earning in League Two, League One. If you say to them,
better than they're ever gonna get.
Yeah, if you say to them, we want you to be a video ref. You know, we you know, you had, I don't know, you were the captain of the club, so therefore we feel like you're the right person. You know what I mean? You're the right kind of person. We'll train you. You'll go through the job process like anyone else. We'll train you up, and then you'll come and work for us, and you'll never have to go on a pitch. And that's it. And that's how I feel like it should be done, because I just feel at the moment you've got these. I mean, a couple of weeks ago when they had the same guy do the early kick-off and the late kick-off, and he got make mistakes in both games.
It's nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. Anyway, I mean, Everton they were unfortunate, but I thought the last half an hour we were really strong. I thought the second half, to be honest, I thought Everton were really strong. United tried to play on the counter-attack, but other than the double chance for a Gallo, which we got caught out like we do, trying to win the game, which is fine. It's fine. Other than that, they done nothing. Bruno Fernandes was shooting from anywhere, and that was their biggest threat.
Yeah, he was great in the first half.
He was.
No, listen, I'm feeling quite positive at the moment. So no, you know, the last two results haven't been perfect, but I just see plus points in both of them, and I think what we can all see is where our problems are.
Yeah.
And I think if we can sort them out, and actually, funny you've said this a couple of times this week, is watching Man United looking like a much better side after buying one player, and that almost like galvanising them. I think that shows if we could go out there and Ancelotti could get the I think he's already mentioned he wants a midfielder with loads of energy. So if he can go and get the player he wants in midfield, and obviously a few other things, right back, right midfield, sort of get sorted out, I don't think we're a million miles away from looking at those European places into the top four. Okay, winning the league, that's the year after.
You don't worry about that.
You don't worry about that.
You do your first thing you can do first, and that'll be breaking to Europe, but get closer.
Competitive.
And you're right, I look at the same now and see the recovery and see where we need to improve. It's very... But the good thing with 4-4-2 is it makes it quite basic as what you need. It highlights things brilliantly for what you need. And looking at United and seeing Fernandes and seeing the difference he's made, you look at Everton and think, tell you what, we get a couple of these, we are in business. We've got a good young side, and I know we're going to talk about a couple of important members of that in the second half. But I'm positive as well. So let's see what happens.
I was positive, but I've just read that Tosin's out for 6 months. No, and you know what? It'd be dead interesting. Gomez came back for the game. It was dead weird with Gomez, wasn't it? Because it was just like he was back and that was it. I know he got a good... No, I don't mean from that point. I just mean that he was straight back in the side, and it was just like he hadn't been away. But it'd be dead interesting whether if we could get Gbamin back for the rest of the at some point in this season, get him a few games, just so Ancelotti can have a little look at it. I know that's going to be difficult, but it could be like the last month of the season we could get him back and just have a little look at him, almost as the template to what we need.
Yeah.
And you know, and maybe that could be the difference. Who knows? Or maybe that could be just you look at him and go, next season he'll really kick on because he's had a month. And I know that's sad because we wanted him all season, but if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. But I still think we'll be looking out for another one as well. So
yeah, Gbamin. I don't expect to see Gbamin this season. No, I just think Everton will. Do you
not think if he's fit though they'll play him?
No.
Why though? Why wouldn't you play him if he's fit? But why? That doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
But it does. No. What if he's? No, I know. If he's fit, why wouldn't you play him? No, but why wouldn't you play him if he's fit?
Yeah, maybe.
No. I'm asking you the question. If he's not fit, you don't play him. If he is fit, you play him. Surely. So you're saying he's not going to be fit?
Yeah.
There you go. Baz is saying he's not going to be fit. That's all I wanted. I just wanted clarity. That's all I wanted. Some clarity. You give me it in the end. There you go. End of part one. We'll be back after the break discussing Mason Holgate's new contract and who else needs to sign a new contract. We'll be right back. Thanks for downloading the Toffee TV podcast, but did you know we put all our shows out as podcasts?
Head over to patreon.com/Toffee TV EFC and you'll find all the latest shows available as podcasts exclusively for Patreon subscribers. So if you need to find all the latest Everton news, conversations, stats, match previews and match reviews as easily downloadable podcasts at your convenience, head over to Patreon.
Welcome back to part 2 of the Toffee TV podcast. Baz and Ped here. If anyone out there ever wants to come on the podcast, by the way, feel free to get in touch with us. You feel free to become on and be a guest. If you want.
Defo.
Anyone ever wants to be a guest on Toffee TV, the chairs are always available. Just let us know. Get in touch with us. Holgate signed a new 5-year contract this week. Obviously, a lot of rumours circulating by the same people who like to circulate rumours that Manchester City were interested. Some of those rumours even went as far as saying they were willing to give us John Stones back for Holgate. And before we touch on him, the best thing about the whole story is that if you go back to late December, there was actual stories, someone had actually taken time to write stories saying that Newcastle United and Sheffield United wanted to sign him, wanted to bring him. So Newcastle wanted him and Lewis Gibson in January, which is incredible. And even funnier, but not quite as public, was someone on our comments on one of a video the other week who was a West Brom fan. A lady, I can't remember what I wouldn't put her name on it. No. But she went as far as saying, I think we were linked with, I think it was one of our videos, we were linked with a centre back, and she went as far as saying that if West Brom got up, he'd probably go back and sign for West Brom because he wouldn't be needed, because he'd probably just leave, because he's never been as happy as he was at West Brom, and he'd want to come back because if we're looking for another centre back, then he wouldn't play and he'd go back to West Brom. And I was like, hang on, are you messing? If he goes anywhere, he's going up. And they were like, no, he'll come to West Brom. He loves West Brom. I was like, yeah, I probably did like playing for you, but know your role and shut up.
So did Rom.
Yeah, he did. He acknowledged West Brom.
At least
he acknowledged West Brom. Actually, someone put a little video up of his goals, some of Rom's goals there. I was just like, oh my God. Imagine.
For us?
Yeah, imagine we still had him. No, like that.
He's done a... I'm not saying he's never coming back, by the way. No. I'm not saying it, but he started
realising
the charm offensive back, which is what Wayne did.
He's on the Rooney role.
He's doing full on Rooney, which is like, actually, I enjoyed it at Everton.
The grass isn't always greener. You've got to remember that.
Would you get him back at any cost?
I'll go and pick him up.
Would you?
I'll go and pick him up.
No, say Everton.
I just think I love Dom. I love Richarlison, but when you look back at his goals and you just go, every time he had a shot at winning. Like that. You know what I mean? He is and was a world-class striker.
Let me ask you this.
Ask me who you want.
In Everton's current setup, right?
Yeah.
Do you think we get the best out of Romelu?
I think Rom would score 30 goals a season.
Yeah.
Because
got now.
Ancelotti would just... I just think Ancelotti would know exactly how to handle him and know how to get the best out of him. And... yeah. But listen, we've got...
Who would you go with?
Well, if we had Rom, we'd be playing in 4 different tournaments.
No, but I'm saying...
but
who would you go with? Who would be your preferred front two?
I think Richarlison's got to play in every single game. You've got to find a place for him because he's different from other...
So would you play him wide? Could it be in a 4-4-2, Lukaku,
3-4-3,
Calvert-Lewin, and Richarlison right side of right wing?
3-4-3. Go for it.
But I think well, Richie can play in a 4-4-2.
No,
he
just saying. I want Holland to play because they're amazing. But that's not going to happen.
Raiola though. Could it be this before we move on? Sorry, I'm just thinking.
No, that's great.
Because this charm offensive that I've seen him doing lately, it does remind me very much of Wayne Rooney. Is there a situation where he looks and thinks, I wouldn't mind going back to Premier League? Right? He's not going to go back to United ever. He's probably not going to get it. He knows he's probably not going to get to City, and he's probably not going to go to Liverpool. Right?
I still think he could go to Chelsea.
Yeah,
I still think he could go back to Chelsea.
He could look at Everton and go, tell you what, Ancelotti, Mini Raiola, who basically is Everton's. I could go back to Everton with Carlo Ancelotti because he's now getting to 26, 27 and still...
Do you not think that Lukaku
himself wouldn't?
It looks like the kind of person that if he came back to Everton, that would look really bad on him, like he'd made a mistake.
But what he might say though is, go on. But he might say now, well, I went to Manchester United, who are the biggest club in the world, and I played for them for a couple of years, and then I went to another country and did it in Italy at Inter Milan, who were a massive club throughout the world, and then I wanted to come back to the Premier League, to a club where I'd had my best form. But he did have 4 years at us. 87.
No, I know. No,
I'm not saying. Listen, I'm not saying.
I think though with Everton, he'd probably look at it and go, "I achieved everything I could have achieved at Everton with the way it was at the time by getting the goals." Whereas Chelsea, there's something that didn't happen. So,
but then I think him going back to Chelsea would be him going against.
I think he'll happily be the flat track bully he is in Italy.
Maybe. I just think. Yeah,
I'd love him back. I think he
cost us too much money, but it would be in this team with people like Bernard in the squad and people like Richarlison. I think he would score a lot of goals.
The manager would.
But anyway, back onto Mason Holgate.
Mason Holgate obviously signed a new 5-year deal. Perfect timing, I thought. He had 2 years left in the summer, which always made him vulnerable. Because I personally believe now with 2 years left, you either sign a contract or you leave now.
You got to.
No.
Well, you're at the last window.
Yeah.
Where you can get
value,
real good value. Yeah. The year later, you'll still get money, but it obviously becomes then where you could get 40 million, it becomes 20 million the year later. So you're right. It had to be now or not now or never, but now was the optimum time for him to sign. Yeah.
And obviously 5 years.
Brilliant
news for us, and it shows us how important he is as well, isn't it, to the squad and how important it is to the manager and how. But it's amazing how much his fortunes have changed this season. He went on loan obviously this time last year, had a great run for West Brom, came back, couldn't get in the side. It was obviously the manager made his mind up with Keane and Yerry Mina, but those two. They don't complement each other. They're both stoppers. We didn't have that pace that we had with Zuma, and it took a while for it to click with the manager that it wasn't working. We needed that pace. We were conceding goals, and but obviously with the change of not having Garner then with Gabaman going out injured,
probably would have worked slightly better with Garner. But obviously the losing Garner and then Gabama not being there, those two did get exposed. And out the two, you'd have Mina, wouldn't you?
Yeah. So, and then obviously Keane just played himself out the team, didn't he? He was appalling. You know, with the England displays were appalling. Confidence took a massive knock. And I actually feel like Keane looks better now that he comes in and out the team. Like it's not all on his shoulders.
He just comes in and does a job, doesn't he? And he's very good at defending, like in terms of like heading things away. It's when Everton are in a bit more control of games and we're pushing up. Like you said, he gets caught, doesn't he, under the ball, and once his confidence goes, he's a waste. And
I do feel sorry for him because I
think he wants to do really well at Everton.
And actually, he's got a. He just doesn't seem quite have the temperament for it. For like
such a nice lad, you can tell he is.
But we've seen all that stuff he did in America last season, last year and stuff in the summer. But I think that's the difference though, and I think Mason Holgate said that when he signed his contract.
Did you see his thing?
Not here to make friends. I don't make friends when I play. I just want to win. I want to win for Everton. I want to win trophies. I'm going to win trophies with this manager. I thought. But that's what we've happy days.
But we've said that, haven't we? From pushing Firmino into the crowd, not that you advocate that, but
no, I'm perfectly advocating.
But he's there he'll have the needle with you. If you want to fight, we'll have it then, because he won't back down from anyone. He's the first one over whenever he's the first one getting involved. I like that. He'll have a go with his own play. He doesn't care. He has a go with Pickford so many times.
We've seen it with Delph, didn't we?
He has a go with Delph. He don't take no prisoners. And now, well, listen, we've done a video this week, so if you're on Patreon, obviously you'll see it. I think has it gone on YouTube? Yeah,
it's on YouTube.
So it's on YouTube. So check it out if you can. We've done a video about whether Mason should be our captain, and we'd actually recorded the video and done the video ahead of hearing that he was signing the contract. Obviously, we knew that we were in talks to sign him, and we were saying that now with having Ancelotti, and it might be the right time to give him him that captaincy, because he's a young 23-year-old he's a mouthy fella, and I think what you do with giving him the captain's armband is you're almost validating him being able to turn around to someone like Delph and go, "For you, listen, get your finger 100%. Out." And if you get someone who's like that then it means that other people look up to him as a young defender, as someone who'll stand up, because he will stand up. And I think he's the type. You were made up with Harry Maguire's captaincy, not his performance, but that captain side.
No, you've got to be like that.
And I think Mason would be like that.
You've got to be like that, because if you are the only player on the pitch who's allowed to talk to the referee, then you better go and talk to the referee. No, you better go and talk to the referee. If you've got that, not only responsibility from your side, but if the referee is almost giving you that little bit of rope, you've got to use it to your full power. And I think he's one of very few players we've got at the club at the moment who shows that. And I think what the loan did for him last year was, we seen him a few times, didn't we, where he played a couple of games where he was having a little bit with someone and he was going, who are you? Who are you? And just playing and almost playing and being like, I'm better than all yous. Again, just elevated him a little bit. And it's not like a I mean, it is an arrogance, but it's an arrogance that I like. It's a belief in yourself. It's a belief in, I mean, without dropping a name, we were talking to his dad, weren't we, last year?
Yeah.
And his dad was saying, well, I think he's a right back, and he said some of the people at the club think he's a right back, but he's adamant that he's a centre back, adamant. And
do you think his dad was saying that though, like we were, because it was a way to get in the team?
And I think that's why we were saying
you're looking at it, and Seamus was out anyway, wasn't he? You're looking and going, well, he's playing in Holgate.
And he played right back, don't forget it, at West Brom.
Well, he went to West Brom after that, didn't he?
But
don't forget, a couple of Spanish teams wanted to take him in January.
But I think by having that self-belief, what he was saying was, I don't want to just be shoehorned into this team like we've seen. You look at like someone like Tom Davies's career and how you can never quite tell where he's playing in midfield. Under Allardyce, he was playing him as a defensive midfielder.
Brendan Galloway started off as a centre back, pushed to left back, and then now he can't get in.
I feel like with Mason Holgate, what he's done is he's gone, I'm a centre back, and that's the only place I'm going to play. And don't try and shoehorn me. I'm good enough to play in it, and I'll prove it. And he's done that. He's come in. He's very assured. He's great on the ball. We've seen him move into midfield. I think what was great about when he moved into midfield was, you started to see how good a footballer he was, and maybe that pushed him up a little bit, and people started going, this like I'm playing centre midfield. And what that said to fans was, if you can't play centre midfield, play him centre back. And suddenly, as a fan, you're like,
he's important then.
You're looking at the teams, you're going, if he's not on, you're going, why is it Mason Holgate playing?
He didn't play the other week, did he? Didn't play against, who didn't he play against the other week? Throughout the team, wasn't he? We were like, wow, what's he done there? But just to give him a blow, and that was the way it went, wasn't it, with him? But he's got in, he's took his chance brilliantly. We saw him in the summer in Switzerland, and he looked like he bulked up a bit, but we were still a bit unsure because he got caught out a couple of times with one ball. But I remember us doing the lives, and it was when Michael Keane was struggling big time, and we were like, do we play him? Do we trust him to just play? And what it's done is it's shown that if you've got the ability, you do need games. And this is something we bang on about with Tom Davies, and we're not saying, listen, in an ideal world, Everton will go and get, for me, Ibrahim Sangare in the summer, and have him, Gabam and Gomez for those two midfield, big men, monsters who can get around the pitch and start being able to assert ourselves. And so for someone like Tom Davies, I want him to go to maybe to Schalke or somewhere like that, play a season of games, because then we'll be able to judge where he is levels.
I think for someone like Tom, it's a case of, we've looked at him for a while now, and he's got all the attributes to be a Premier League player, but the problem is he can't put them all together, and he can't get a run of games. And because of his size, he's always at a disadvantage, and he's almost got to learn how to use his body in his advantage. And he does that sometimes when he buys a lot of fouls. But I think...
Did you hear what Michael Ball said about him the other day? Michael Ball,
the singer?
Just said he wanted him to be in the Phantom of the Opera. Now, Michael Ball, obviously our ex-player, was talking about him and said he's always been the fella who sits in front of the back four. That's what he was in the youth team. Said, I've seen him coming through, just running football matches from that position. But then Everton pushed him higher up the pitch, and he's almost lost that faith of people to play there.
I think we've all lost.
When he went to England, He sat in front of them and dictated.
That's what I'm saying. If he went on loan somewhere, I mean, he's under contract now, so we've, I don't.
Yeah.
And I think if you said to him, go away for a year, I think he'd have no problem. Because that's what I'm saying. I think he's got a lane.
And cracking photos in Germany, wouldn't he? And their style.
Yeah, he'd have no problem over there. And I think he'd learn how to be a bit more of a player now, to use his size. And he came back.
And that demand of every week,
every game having to be there. And this moves on to another player, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who has, again, he's worked his way in. I mean, it's funny with Dom because hopefully he's the next one to sign the contract and he'll be the one they're working on. And once he signs a contract, then really there's no one left, is there? Everyone else, Jordan Pickford signed not so long ago, Tom signed, and everyone, Richarlison, and everyone else at the club has only been at the club for a year or two that we want to keep anyway. So Dom's the next one. Don't forget, he's got 3 years as well on it, so it's not like it's a massive pressing thing.
No.
But we're trying to reward him. Obviously, it's just about coming to the terms because he'll know his stock is absolutely huge at the moment.
They'll play hardball at the moment because he's scoring goals and he's our number 9. So they'll be asking for the world, and Everton won't want to give him the world because rightly so. Too often we reward people ridiculously, and then we go, I'm going to say, why did we give him that? We can't get him out now, or this or that. So you have to find that happy medium. But he's very, very important.
But he's funny because whereas you look at Tom and you've got the other options, and obviously he hasn't had the physical attributes. Dom's always had the physical attributes, and obviously the change of formation has really helped him. But he's played in and out. He's played off the right. He's played off the left. He's played right wing back. He's played everywhere because he wanted to play. He wanted to prove himself. He's learnt all the things you need to learn to be a Premier League footballer. And the last thing he had to learn was putting the ball in the back of the net. And he's not fully there yet, but he's getting there. He's got a good ratio at the moment. And, he's proven that hard work, a good run in the team, and also not having that massive pressure on your shoulders either, of where some players come in the team and you feel like the spotlight's all on them. I think Dom, the spotlight's sort of been taken away from him by other people, and that's allowed him to grow. And don't forget, this is a player who's been at the club for like 3 seasons. He's been able to,
one of our most longest serving players.
He's been able to grow quietly to the point where people almost go like, oh, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, this young lad, whereas you never told, and you go, he's been here for ages. We've seen him grow.
Didn't he come in 2016? Didn't he come in the first Walsh Koeman window? So, but he was bought for the 23s to start, but he was in by the December. Come off the bench against Arsenal when we come back and beat them 2-1. And he played in that's the first season. Yeah,
played in Koeman's first game, didn't he? Was it?
No,
second season. Second season, right wing back.
He put the debut against Arsenal at home when Ashley Williams scored the winner, and then he come on the derby with half an hour left when Manny scored. But and he was in, and then he got in. He was in the squad all the time, and he played right wing back, left wing back. Scored his first goal against Hull, I think, when we beat them 4-0.
Tapping at the far post, came off the left side.
And he'd already started well against, I think it was Southampton at home, and he got an injury and had to go off. If you remember, that was just after Christmas. And then he was in, and once he was in, he was never been anywhere else. And the formations never helped him because he's never been in the right position to score goals. And that was what I always worried about him with. Will he get that in? Because you can't give people that. He's learned what areas to get in, and now he's scoring goals. But instinctively, he's not there. But listen, there's a song about, the fans are singing a song now, When we played you on the right, we thought you were beep. Calvert-Lewin.
We've even got t-shirts for him.
That's it. And
but if we get him signed up next, then he's sort of like, we've got all the base players that we want signed up then, and we're ready to kick on for new players again. And we can get rid of the other players.
Well, when you look at that team, your Pickfords, and you've got Luca Dean, and you've got Mina and Holgate, and then into midfield, even Gomez and Bernard are at great ages. Alex Iwobi's 23, 24, and then you've got those 2 lads, and then you've got Moise Keane, who was almost, he came in and was probably overhyped, and we didn't have a right formation for him, and he struggled a bit, and he's still struggling a little bit, but he's got physically he's got the right attributes to be a good striker, and now the heat's kind of off him now.
Well, that's what's mad, isn't it? Because that's what I was saying about Dominic Calvert-Lewin not having I remember early in the season I was doing like the starting 11s, and people from the very beginning were like, why aren't you playing Moise Keane? And I'm like, because I'm playing Dom, because Dom's a Premier League player, and this kid's only been here 2 minutes, and it was like all the time, Dom's not doing it, put Keane on. It was like, the pressure on, it was like, don't worry about Dom, you can get rid of him. It was like, put Keane in and
send on to the Championship on
loan.
Yeah,
send him on loan. But it was like, what's mad is that pressure on Keane has gone worked completely against him, because there's been like, everyone expected too much, but it's worked in Dom's favour. Because he's been, while everyone's been going like, why have we got him as our number 9, or leave him on the bench, he's quietly kept doing what he's been doing, adding to his goals bit by bit. The goal he scored against City is the best goal he scored all season.
Without a shadow.
It's the best. People at the time, he shouldn't be robbing that. No, he should be robbing it. He should be robbing it. He should be robbing 10.
Got him up and running.
He should be robbing 10 of them a season.
Every day.
Seamus Coleman doesn't need it.
No,
he needs it because he's the number 9.
But what it'll do is allow Moise Keane to not have any pressure. So now Moise Keane is just a sub. He's the lad you bring on with 15 to go, and hopefully he'll get a couple of trappings, and then hopefully his time will come next season, and he'll be trying to force his way into that side. So the future looks good, and
it does.
We go to Chelsea at the weekend, and like we've said before, with those two up front, we feel like we've got an opportunity. It'll be tough, but you know what? It's a game. It's a game we can get something out of.
And we'll be talking about that game just after the break.
Thanks for downloading the Toffee TV podcast, but did you know we put all our shows out as podcasts? Head over to patreon.com/Toffee TV EFC and you'll find all the latest shows available as podcasts exclusively for Patreon subscribers. So if you need to find all the latest Everton news, conversations, stats, match previews and match reviews as easily downloadable podcasts at your convenience, head over to Patreon.
Welcome back to the final part of the Toffee TV podcast. Ped and Baz in the chairs. Chelsea away. We haven't won there since December 1994. Joe Rill's second game. Limpar with... when you look at that cross, was it outside of the foot?
It was a brilliant
outside of the foot. Paul Rideout knocked it in
feather.
just after he'd obviously scored the second goal in the derby on the Monday night beforehand to get his second goal. Duncan didn't play in that game, did he?
At Chelsea.
Was he injured?
He didn't play in it, though. It was right.
Remember Barry Owens missing the last minute?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Raced through. It was like, wasn't it 3-on-1 or something?
Yeah, last minute.
To kill it. And he put it wide.
We won 1-0. I went the following season. Ruud Hullit's first game as a player. It was a nil-nil.
Opening day.
Boiling hot Stamford Bridge. It was
3-0.
And we haven't won since. We've come close a couple of times. We've had a couple of very late defeats. We've had some spankings as well. We've had goalkeepers fall over signs, tell them not to be on the pitch.
True story.
Yeah, very, very true story.
Same fella fell out the loft. Put in the
case, yeah. I mean, you know.
I mean, the closest we've come is obviously the Funes Mori game, the 3-3.
The irony is, if they'd had VAR that day, John Terry's goal would have got disallowed.
He was offside. But what was ridiculous about that was classic Everton. We had the ball with like 30 seconds to go, and instead of smashing it down the line, Delafeu tried to just run.
Well, don't forget as well,
we were 2-0 up in that game.
They actually added the time on because we over-celebrated the Funes Mori's winning goal. No, I'm just saying that's classic Everton.
Well, that already happened at Bournemouth.
It had.
Earlier on, but the same season. But Delafeu, if he just smashes it down into their corner flag, into our fans, the game's over. And he tried to like take people on. They got it back and get a free kick.
How many wins do you think we would have got extra if the back pass rule had never been invented? Because you think about it, like we would have just got it back to the goalkeeper and then hoofed it.
Listen,
I mean,
Liverpool exactly. Liverpool won everything with that back pass rule. But no, we go there at the weekend, like I've just said before the break. It's a tough game, but I feel with the two lads in form up front that we've got a chance in any game now. And I think Mina will come back in to the side, and he's a threat off set plays, even if he's just occupying people. And so, you know, when Chelsea are up and down, aren't they? They've got great, some great players, and they've got some really exciting young players, but because of that,
they'll give you a chance, and it's whether we can take that chance. Bournemouth, we're getting battered on Saturday, and they got 2-1 up, and it was Chelsea really laid it on thick. But I think they showed in that game the blueprint is try and press them high. I don't think they're great at the back. I think if you try and press them high and work them high. If you drop off and allow them to play in your half, then they've got the players to punish you. But I think if you press high, and with the likes of Dominic Calvert-Lewin and the likes of Richarlison, if they're working and they're trying to take the ball off their back four, I think we can hurt them. And we'll always have opportunities to score, because at the moment they're in really good form. And it's whether we can take those opportunities, because that's what you need to do.
They're without Kovacic, and he's injured, and Willian looks like he's injured as well. So they're a couple of players who...
Pulisic still out?
I've not seen him, so whether he's back, but maybe that's why Billy Gilmore started, the young kid, for them.
What a name, Billy Gilmore.
That's a great
if that doesn't send shivers down your spine. Billy Gilmore's coming around.
Billy Gilmore is a little bit like our Billy over there. He's probably got the same family, the Minch, but Billy Gilmore is almost Jimmy Grimble. The second. It's a Jimmy Grimble type.
What a film! What a great never see that film anywhere.
If
you've never seen, there's only one Jimmy Grimble. So find it out. It's a great film.
Classic film. Classic football film.
Kid, I don't think the kid was ever in anything else.
Just Jimmy Grimble.
Although the girl in it ended up in Corrie.
Did she?
She did.
Interesting fact. But yeah, so obviously Kovacic and if Pulisic is out and Willian, they were the three that impressed me the most at Goodison when we beat them 3-1. Certainly the first half, they were running. Pulisic was outstanding till he tired. So if they've got those three out, that'll be massive for us, because they are really good on the ball. But it'll be a tough game, it will. But generally, out of the top six, that's the place we've done all right at in terms of draws. We've got quite a lot of draws. 0-0 last year. We haven't scored in the last 3 years, I think, at Stamford Bridge, so that needs to change. But we've had games where Tim Howard threw one in the net in the last minute from Willian. We had we've 0-0 there quite a few times. We had, remember
John Terry got one, a last minute winner,
95th minute winner, of which hit him and bounced back over Howard. That was on live.
Yeah,
that was I think that was like Easter Monday or something, and Everton had done all right in that and drew 0-0. It was 0-0 until he scored that in the 95th minute. So we had the Kale bicycle kick there. McFadden scored up there.
What a goal that was!
It was McFadden, wasn't it? Or was it Vaughan? McFadden. We drew 1-1 there. So we've had, over the years, we've had a lot of draws. I've been there a few times. I remember us going there, and Super Kev scored after like 70 seconds, and we got beat 2-1, and you were just like. But we've always had a bit of a go there, and only really when they had Zola they give us a spanking.
I honestly, it's not in like a fierce ground. It's like Disneyland. There's people showing you outside. Honestly,
I went there last year.
Last year. There's like people. There's all kinds of like monuments to like get your picture taken, like Instagram picture. There's all these people like help meet and greeters, showing people where they need to be.
Honestly, it's changed.
It's a proper tourist destination.
I've been there in the 90s and it's changed ridiculously to when I've been to Chelsea about quite a few times actually, because my sister-in-law didn't live far from this.
And you're old. So you've had more opportunities.
I'm 47, so yeah. But what are you, 41? So yeah, you're old.
You're 48 soon though, aren't you?
I'm 47 at the moment.
You're 48 soon though?
Next month, yeah. So I'm 47 at the moment and you're 41, so yeah, there you go. But no, you're right, it's not a ground I look at and go, oh my God. It's not like you look at for us with the voodoo sign, you look at Anfield, and Chelsea's one of them where if we could get the win, I think that'd unlock then the fear. It'd be just like, well, we've won there, so let's go. And when you see teams like Sunderland,
do you know what it is?
There and won with Josie bloody.
It's grounds that don't have gaps in them. I've noticed this. So
is that what it is?
Anfield goes all the way down. Old Trafford goes all the way down. The Emirates goes all the way down. Stamford Bridge goes all the way down. It's the stadiums that have gaps between the stands that we do well at.
That were all right.
Yeah.
There you go.
So there you go.
So we're in trouble.
So we need to break
Let's make sure at Bramley Mall there's gaps then, otherwise we're in real trouble, aren't we? But no, let's go there and then that 24-year wait.
There you go. If you want more on that game, check out the match preview. We've done loads on it.
Yeah, so there you go.
Make sure you check that out. Yeah, if you want to watch a video version of this podcast, there is one. It's over on Patreon. If you want to check that out.
It's just dancing and everything on the video.
Oh, we're doing all kinds. We've got a bear comes in on a unicycle at one point.
Drinking the tears of Our Lady.
I mean, there you go. Make sure you check that out. If you want the video version of this. If you want any videos, get over to YouTube or our Patreon account. Which is patreon.com/ToffeeTV EFC. We have loads of podcasts on there as well. Every show we do goes out in a podcast. So if you like your podcast, you can find them on Patreon. And we'll be back next week, hopefully with a guest.
Yeah.
I do like it when there's a guest.
We will get a guest.
But saying that, I'm on so few videos now that
That's because you just don't want to be on.
It's not. It's because I'm working so hard behind the scenes.
I mean, you've got more interns than we've ever had.
As I said, I'm working so hard behind the scenes. I've got to literally keep the interns in check now. That's literally my job.
What it is, yeah.
But
which again you see on the video.
There you go.
So there you go.
So thanks for listening or watching. See you later. Bye.